All right, what's up, everybody? We are here for podcast number 21. Before we get started on today's podcast, podcast is sponsored by Eyes Up Auto Art. If you would like to have your car painted on canvas, hit him up on Instagram or Facebook at Eyes Up Auto Art. Links are in the description. Now back to scheduled programming. Shut up, Mike.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good, Jonathan. I like that.
All right. Yeah, I got sponsorship for the next two podcasts right now. So
wow,
including this one.
You're somebody.
Yeah.
Now are they going to get you views as well?
I highly doubt that one, but all right, we got two people watching, so that's a plus.
That is a plus.
Okay, Mike, you want to go into your channel and the vehicles you have?
Sure. My name is Mike, and I have a channel called OhYeahAboutThat. And I've got kind of an eclectic group of vehicles. I've got a 2017 Mustang GT, 1991 Jeep Wrangler, a 1989 Honda Prelude, and a 1990 Mazda Miata. And I just recently moved to a new house that has a lot of property, and I'll be kind of putting together a big shop in the back. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, follow my channel.
Hold on a second.
All right, Sean, you want to go into your channel and the vehicles you have?
Okay. My name's Sean, and I go by Novataz. My channel is Novataz on YouTube. I have a 1979 400 Pontiac Motor Trans Am. I have a 277 Novas, mainly turning two cars. And I have a Dodge Ram 1500 off-road edition.
All right, Justin, you want to go into your channel and what cars you have and what you do?
Sure. My channel is Redline. I have two Tornados. One's a 1987 and the other is a 1992. They're both late model GM E-body cars. That's why I sort of specialize in. You know, I do a lot of videos on working on the cars, and I like to expand to actually like doing driving videos and going to more, you know, drag events and everything like that in the future. So, yeah.
All right, Martin, you want to go into your channel and the vehicle you have and vehicles you have access to?
Absolutely. So my name is Martin again. My channel is called Import Domestic. I run LS260 GTO on my Instagram. I have a 2006 Pontiac GTO that is not stock whatsoever. My girlfriend has a 2014 Corvette Stingray, and we have a 1999 Pontiac Firebird Formula that we're going to restore. Yeah, and actually it's sitting right there. It's in need of maintenance, but we'll get it running soon.
All right, David, you want to go into your channel and vehicles you have?
Yeah. All right. So my channel is The Drift Guy. I have a 1990 300ZX and a 1990 240. I pretty much go to all the kinds of drift events, and that's the kind of things I film. So.
Sorry, I'm trying to post on Instagram here. If you guys haven't posted, maybe we'll get some more viewership if you do.
I'm kind of using the phone to do what I'm doing.
Yeah. I used to have to do that and then basically do everything all at the same time. Okay, so let's start with our first topic, and then I'll go back to posting. What's some cars everyone thinks is special but really isn't, and why?
I was going to jump to Mustang Cobras.
Sean, what did you say earlier when we talked about this?
Any car that we own.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, Martin, what were you saying?
The Mustang Cobra. You know, the Shelbys.
Connecting.
I don't know about that one, unless you're referring to like a Mustang 2, Cobra, then
Any
maybe.
of the Mustang Cobras, unless it's an actual Cobra, or you have a Ford GT. Every other Mustang is just a Mustang. I'm sorry.
Yeah, stand up, Fred. Stand up.
It is what it is.
Hello?
Okay, anybody else have any?
Who's that talking in the background that's saying stand up?
Are you
Is
ready?
someone in trouble? Is someone about to be
Stand up and
spanked?
be heard.
No, nobody's gonna be spanked.
No,
Would
At least not yet.
Not yet.
at least
No,
not yet. Oh shit! Oh man.
Don't tell me this is going to be another Rated X podcast.
Oh, I don't know.
No, but you know what? Honestly, it's probably just about any early Mopar. I mean, you look at how much they're selling for, and off the factory line, they were junk. You know, the bodies were all misaligned. They rattled. They squeaked. You know, they weren't really great cars when they first came out.
The '60s Moparts.
Yeah, the '60s Mopars. I mean, they were really cheaply made, but yet look at how much they're worth now.
You know why they're worth a lot, right?
Because they all fell apart.
Exactly. There's hardly any around. I mean,
That's
don't
not
get me
a
wrong.
surprise, man.
Don't get me wrong, because I like Mopar. Okay.
Well, so do I.
If it wasn't for the
But
Pontiac.
I mean, if you look at it in all honesty, they were really crappy built cars when they were built.
Yeah.
I mean, now that people are restoring them, they're making them like a hell of a lot better than they were from the factory.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Unless you're that one guy, I don't know his name, but he restores a lot of Moparts, and he puts them straight up exactly like the factory would, with the lines and chuck and everything else. Why build a car and spend all this money and make it identical to what it would have been like when it was brand new?
Well, that's because that's what he's into. He likes holding the history, the nostalgia of what that car was when it was new. But, you know, I mean, he's still going to make it better than it was from factory, because I'm sure he's going to line the panels up a lot better than the factory did, you know. Right. So even if he says it's like factory, it's still going to be better than it left the assembly line.
Right.
Because you also, at that point, it's a one-off hand-built car.
Right. It's kind of like
it wasn't slapped together on an assembly line.
Right.
So, yeah.
Even with my car, I mean, my car's, you know, it's a pretty nice, you know, vehicle, but, you know, it would be better if it had a better powertrain. I mean, like, I would like to have the LT1. Have a GTO. It would be better if it had, bigger rotors, if it had magnetic ride suspension, all the latest stuff that the Camaros have, basically.
Yeah, if I could get a hold of a wrecked Camaro, my Nova would have a whole new drivetrain underneath it.
Yeah. I mean, basically, like, it's almost like grabbing a '60s, muscle car and putting a new drivetrain.
Hello?
Like I watched somebody
shit.
had a GT 500 and they tore it apart and they put an old body on it. Now that was a cool Mustang that I can give respect to, because it looks like an old muscle car, and it just looks amazing. It looks awesome.
All right, what happened to Sean?
I don't know.
Not sure.
I heard him say, "Oh shit." And then...
His phone died.
Wait, Mike, what did you say?
Poop.
You think he had to poop?
Well, he did say, "Oh shit," right?
True. Very true. Okay, so does anybody else have any cars?
I want to. Oh, go ahead, Justin.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm not sure if it'd really count, but like, I'd say like was it the '80s Chrysler K cars? You know, they're starting to come back in huge popularity, but they were extremely cheaply built, and you know, they weren't meant to last, and yet here they are now. You see them everywhere. I see them in car shows now, even.
Linchester in the comments says the NSX, the NC1.
Yeah, because those things are so slow. Stock.
Yeah, it's like even Rob Ferretti was saying, they're slow, but it's still a decently driving car, but it's still slow.
Yeah,
Well, that would be.
But it's not really anything special.
it's not even about the speed, because a lot of slow cars are nice. About the experience, and there's a lot of hype surrounding those cars.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
Think of an NXX as a more modern Miata that's nicer, a little more power, a little more roomy. So it's kind of like the same thing, but just like blown up. Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you think?
You mean like a bloated Miata?
Yeah, it's a bloated Miata. It's just nicer. It's got a nicer interior. It drives better on the track. It's not necessarily quick or fast, but it's just a nice driving machine.
It's a more expensive Miata.
Yeah.
A lot more expensive.
a lot more
honestly,
a lot more expensive.
Miatas too. I mean, early '90s.
Well, hell, they were $75,000 back in the day when they were brand new. It was just for the base model.
That's pretty insane to pay that much for an NSX, even back then.
Maybe that's why Honda thought they were going to get away with charging this much for the new one. That's hybrid.
Yeah, that nobody bought.
They call it the Mini 918.
I think the problem with the new NSX was it wasn't what people were expecting.
No, because it's not a naturally aspirated vehicle.
Like, I think that's why it didn't sell, was because people were expecting it to be like a newer version of the old NSX, not this brand new supercar or whatever.
And see, the NSX was never meant to be a supercar. It was a track-focused vehicle. As a matter of fact, I think it was Senna who helped develop the suspension at the track back in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm going to message Sean real quick and see what's going on over there. Oh, he said phone died. Give me a sec.
Called it.
He said that. Well, Mike, you were wrong. He didn't have to take a dump.
I think the phone took the dump.
Yeah, that is true. So do we have any other cars that you guys think are ones that are not as special as people think them?
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and this includes a lot of cars that I really like, but I'm going to say pretty much all 1980s American domestic cars. Built very well.
There you go.
Yeah, they're shitty.
Justin, I do apologize. I know you. I'm not saying I don't like them, because I do. I'd love to add to my collection.
Oh, I totally get it. The extremely underpowered. Take my 87 Tornado. It's only got 150 horsepower for what was supposed to be a sports luxury coupe. It was ridiculous compared to what they're making in 70.
Didn't the third gen Camaros have like only 100 and some horsepower out of a V8?
Yeah.
Back then?
Well, it's all those emission, nannies that they put on there to keep them, emissions friendly, smog legal, exactly. That robs all this horsepower.
You know what? I got a very good question. Do you think the way things are going, we're going to go back to a time like that where all cars are going to have these shitty amounts of horsepower and stuff like that? Do you think there will ever be another time that we have to go back to that? Where all new cars...
At some point it might happen, but not
to that level. Not to that level, because technology is advanced, but we're going to definitely... in trying to save the combustion engine, there's going to, things are going to slow down and probably come to a bottleneck, but it's never going to be like it was in the 70s and 80s, I don't think. I mean, back when V8s had 100 and
like the, what was that? The Cadillac DeVille that Doug DeMuro was showing from the 1970s. Big ass V8, what was it, like 6.8 liter or something or other? Huge
Bonneville?
V8. Was that what it was, the Bonneville?
Could be wrong.
It was a massive Cadillac. It was the two-door version.
Quick question.
Eldorado?
Would you guys mind if Poor Man Maz jumped in on this?
Yeah, sure. Send him the link I sent you and bring him in.
All right.
Go for it. That thing had a massive boat and I think it had like 125 horsepower or something like that. 130 maybe for a big old V8.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
that's
going on?
kind of like crazy.
What was going
I
on at
mean-
that time, though? Like, wasn't like
If we're,
they're
are you talking
concerned
about like
about
the 80s,
gas?
wasn't it like the oil crisis or something?
That's pretty much when it was occurring. All that.
I was about to say, I think, well, no, I don't know. I don't know. I think the only two people here that probably would have been around during that would have been Mike and Martin, wouldn't it?
No, I'm not that. I'm not that old.
I'm not sure how old you guys are. I forget.
Not a day over 21.
So wait, Justin, how old are you?
20.
20.
Oh, so I'm older than you.
Youngest guy here, I guess.
By 1 year.
By
By
one year.
1 year. Because I'm 21.
Oh, there you go. Have a fun night. No.
Yeah, there was all the
I got a feeling
emissions.
I'm.
There's
What
all
was
the
that, Mike?
emissions and the fuel crisis that all led to just. But all cars were getting similar performance back then. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what everybody expected.
Right.
Yeah, so it didn't matter if you had a Camaro or a Corvette. You had around the same fucking horsepower anyway.
Well, remember that's when after in the 1980s, that's when the Buick GNX came out and it had better performance than a Corvette.
Yeah, that's honestly one of my favorite cars from the 80s. Was the
And that's
GNX.
a turbo V6.
Was the GNX because nobody really saw it coming.
No, nobody.
And from Buick of all brands to build a car like that. Like, who would see that coming? Buick making a fast car that isn't made for like grannies or something.
And what's funny, they can do it again, but they choose not to.
I wish they fucking would bring the
already had-
GNX back.
They already had the Regal, but they screwed up. They put too small of a turbo. I got
Wait,
to
was that a
test drive
two-door
one of
or a
those.
four-door?
No, it's a 4-door.
Well, then
But
they
they had
fucked it up already.
They
Four-door.
had a. Well, that's the thing. They had a 2-door that was going to be coming, but the 4-door didn't have any success, and they had too small of a turbo.
Are we still talking about cars that nobody that are?
Yes.
Fair
Or
enough.
what?
Yeah, I guess so.
What you're talking about the GNX there? Just real quick.
The Grand National.
Yeah, I was down in Columbus, Ohio here for a car show. It was like the classic G-Body garage one. And someone went to scrap a GNX, like completely original car. Went to just scrap it for like $150.
That's
And now
crazy.
now that guy has
That's
it and he's
stupid.
storing it. I know. Someone scrapped a 60 Rambler, which I want to buy. If you're watching this, Pull Apart Auto, I want that car.
But
All right,
back to
carry
the
on.
original question: was there any more cars that you guys think that everyone thinks is special but really isn't?
The 240 SX.
You know,
Drift
it's
X.
funny. Okay, I know.
If-
Okay, I
think
know
about
everybody's
it.
gonna kill me after saying this, but don't you guys think that if it wasn't for Fast and Furious, the Supra wouldn't be?
Honestly, it's possible because even though they did make a lot of, you can make a lot of horsepower out of a Supra, but the thing is, you do kind of have a point, Martin. Like, if it wasn't for Fast and the Furious, the Supra might not be as iconic as it is now.
Oh, you're
'Cause now
totally
everybody-
right about that.
Because if it wasn't for Fast and Furious, that car wouldn't be sought out. Especially to bring in the right-hand drive. What is it? The R34? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for that movie, I don't think that car nobody would even care.
Yeah, that or video games, because they've been in video games for a while too, and people fell in love
And
with
that's
them through that too.
And that's what we were saying on the last podcast, where video games has influenced individual cars that have become popular.
Now we have two mics in here. Now it's going to get confusing.
How's it going, Mike?
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, you want to introduce your channel and the vehicles you have real quick, since we had everybody else do it earlier?
Yeah, sure. My real name is Mike, but everyone knows me as Freddy. I have two channels. My most popular one is Poor Man Mods. I've got a '88 Mark III Supra with a 1JZ in it. 2002 IS300. 2002 Legacy or 2006 Legacy GT. And a friend or partner that's on the channel has a S13 and a AE86.
Sweet lineup of cars there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I see Shawn. You're finally back.
Yeah, I'm back. My phone's
Yeah.
kind
Mike.
Shit.
Oh yeah, about that. Literally thought you actually went to take a shit or something. Because you said, "Oh shit."
So we figured out it was
I think you missed
phone
the topic
afterwards.
that we were talking about. The topic we were talking about was what some cars everyone thinks is special but really isn't. Did you have any that you wanted to bring up?
Subaru STI.
There you go.
That's one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yep.
true.
You know, since you
Especially-
mentioned that
especially
one,
with the new
what about
ones.
the Evo? Everybody got that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty up there too. But
I mean, they're basically really the same car, except they're from different manufacturers, right? They're
Kind
just
of.
they're rivals.
Little.
I would. You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna put it out there on a limb, that a Subaru and a Mitsubishi Evo would be kind of like a Mustang versus a Camaro. Would that be like
Yeah.
when it comes to Japanese?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, pretty
Totally.
much.
I mean, that's totally a fair assumption, right?
I feel like
Yeah.
you definitely see more high horsepower Evos than STIs. Subarus are not the most reliable once you do anything to them.
Yeah, because they break.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I used to love the WRX and the STI, and I got my Legacy GT a year ago, which is pretty much a WRX. And now that I have one, it's like I see an STI drive down the road, I'm like, whatever, you know, like I don't even like care about them anymore. I used to love them, and I went to Boxer Fest a couple months ago, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of slow cars here.
That's funny. You know, and it's funny because I have friends that I've been talking to in Australia, and you know, they have all the cars that I wish that were here available, and of course they want all the Camaros and Mustangs out there in Australia, but they're not really available. And even if you can get one, like the base model SS goes for about $140,000 out there in Australia.
Yeah,
if you can imagine that, because they have to import it. It costs around $4,000, is what I was being told. The conversion costs about between $15,000 and $20,000, depending of the individual vehicle, and then a plus on top of the physical car.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too. Like in Japan, they think Camaros and Mustangs and classic muscle cars are amazing, and over here we're like, whatever. But we think like the Skylines and everything are amazing, but over there they're like, whatever. GTR went down the road, whatever, you know.
Yeah, because they're a dime a dozen out there. They have them everywhere. It's like going around here, and it's like seeing either a Dodge Ram or a Chevy Silverado or a Mustang or Camaro. They're everywhere.
Yeah,
it's like everybody and their dad and their grandma has one.
Exactly.
That's one of the
It's
things
also
I like
funny
about
how they always.
Oh, sorry, that's what I was going to say. One of the nice things about having my car is that they're few and far between.
What kind of car do you have? I'm sorry.
I have a Pontiac GTO.
Okay, yeah, nice.
I have it's a 6.0 liter LS2.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not to mention your girlfriend's Corvette that you get to do videos on also.
Yeah, that'll be next. Yeah, that's what I was just telling her, that I need to make the video on that one next.
Reply to this real quick. Apparently, Shawn being Shawn, who was supposed to join tonight, apparently he is sick and has red random bumps all over. So I don't know what's going on with him. So
he needs to stop hooking up with people he shouldn't.
Oh my god!
I'm just joking.
I don't know. Is it showing my camera at all?
Yeah, we can see you, Shawn. Did your phone die again?
No, I'm trying to. It kept saying that my camera wasn't working.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, okay. I can see you.
You can see me?
See,
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what the hell this deal is.
you remind me of 802 Garage. You got the look. You're a little white for being Jesus. That's a joke. I'm just joking.
Oh.
We were clowning on 802 Garage the other day.
Yeah, because he
he was
literally
gonna
has
shave,
like
but he
a
never
mullet, and then he has his long ass hair, and then the mustache and the beard, and literally looks like Jesus.
Yeah, he just needs a robe.
Yeah,
We
I
should
kinda
tell him
get
to
that
join the
sometimes.
podcast in a robe one day. That'd be hilarious if he did.
Yeah, that would be. And then with the
I'm gonna have
shepherd's
to
hook.
text him later and tell him to do that next
Right?
time.
Yeah, but he has to have a shepherd's hook to complete the costume. I mean, Halloween is coming, right? So there you go.
There we go. I'll wear a robe next time. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? You kind of remind me of Chris Rock.
Yeah, except I don't know. I don't like my hair down because it gets tangled and everything because it's curly.
Okay, Sean. So,
Okay,
is there
I have no clue where we were at in topic.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you your opinion because we didn't really hear much from you. What's
because I wasn't
some
here.
cars everyone thinks is special but really isn't? Like, what's some cars you think on that topic?
Well, I already did. I was right before we left. I was talking about the Mopars.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, true. Okay, so next topic. What is everyone's favorite 80s TV show car and why?
I was
I'm
going to
going
say
first.
Smokey and the Bandit. The 77 Trans Am.
No, there's that is definitely a soft spot of mine. Let's see. What do I have? One of those just over here somewhere too.
What about the Ferrari from
Hold on.
Magnum PI?
That's not a bad one.
That's a good one.
I've never really watched
it's
many
one
of
of
those
the
shows.
it's one of the
Yeah, I was
slowest
gonna say, I
Ferraris
don't
anyway.
really know.
But it's an awesome show. It's because you guys are all young. That's why.
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
young
I'm
and
a
I've seen
millennial.
some of these.
I got one of those too.
I
Yeah,
mean,
there you go. See, that's bad.
I like 80s cars. I just haven't seen 80s TV shows.
Yeah.
I would probably have to say mine's a toss-up between the 69 Charger from Dukes of Hazzard or
Okay.
the Trans Am or Kit from Knight Rider.
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
that'd be-
I think it's ugly.
you won't think that when it smokes your GTO.
No, I don't think so.
I've got the TA from Kill Bill as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, from Kill Bill. What about
I think 70s cars had better 70s movies had better and actually you can't use the 77 TA because it wasn't an 80s car. That movie came out in 77.
Yeah, you're right.
Uh.
I just thought of what's another 80s.
You know what? Here's mine right here. If you can see it, the truck from the Fall Guy.
Oh.
That was always my favorite.
You know, now that
How
I'm
about
thinking
you have the DeLorean.
yeah, the DeLorean.
Oh,
that
yeah,
came out
that's
in the
another
80s?
interesting one.
Yes. You know what I just
You
thought
have
about?
you have the Toyota what the hell was Toyota was that in that the one that everybody was after. That little Toyota black pickup truck that was in
Oh yeah, that's the Tundra, right? Or the Tacoma?
No, it wasn't any of those.
Tacoma, that's what it was. The
Oh, you mean the one that was in Back to the Future, the black one?
Yeah.
black one, yeah.
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 That wasn't bad
it's a
looking, to
Tacoma.
be honest with you.
Oh, I was in love with
Right.
that truck when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was all
Okay,
lifted and
so
everything.
did everybody go over any cars, or did everybody else
Well,
just
there's
not
actually-
see any 80s stuff? Except
There's one more.
except
There's
me,
one more.
Mike, and Sean and Martin.
There's one more, but it's not a car; it's a truck. It's the one that Paul Walker. Where actually it's what's his name? Freaking Texas Ranger. He would drive that Dodge truck.
Ah.
Well, you were way off on actors, but
But that's a badass truck. I remember that truck. That was badass.
yeah, true.
That was a
All right,
badass
so
truck.
for next topic, what's a stupid car you would want to own?
A Geo Metro.
Ooh.
What would you do to it, though?
I've honestly been like on the fence of starting a Geo Metro project, and turboing it and just making it like a badass, just race car cage, as much power as I can throw at it, you know, anything that I can do to it.
You have to get the 3-cylinder one.
Oh yeah, and I think my
The one,
plan was
the one with the weed whacker in it.
Yeah, to get the 3-cylinder one, and I have my spare turbo manifolds for my twin turbo 1JZ set up, so I could just cut the flange off of the 1J manifold, weld it to the flange of the Geo, and have a 1J manifold and turbo setup on the
Sean
Metro.
just left again.
Yeah, I guess Sean's having issues.
Oh, there.
There we go. He's back.
Having problems.
I have no idea.
I'd buy a Yugo.
A Yugo.
What the
I
hell?
think
We
I
used to have one of those.
There's one in a junkyard by me, and it was pretty sweet. The doors were like literally made off paper, and what I'd do with it, I'd drive it across a windy bridge and hopefully survive.
You plan to Paracel with that thing?
Oh sure, just put a parachute on the back of it. We'll soar through the skies.
Oh, well, listen to what Matt Rosenthal.
What car are we talking about?
The 2 JayZ Swap Rolls Royce Phantom.
Oh God.
Why?
Because he's
That's
going to
the hell
on Drift Life.
You know what I just saw the other day, and I think I sent you a link, Jonathan. It was a Toyota 86 with a Ferrari engine in it. I think it was from a 488. Did you see that?
Christ.
Oh
Did you see
yeah,
that?
was that the
Oh.
one that one big drifter did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, the engine's worth more than the damn car when it was brand new.
That was at Ready
That's
Set
true.
Drift a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's like, oh my, and it's like noisier than hell. It was just.
Okay, I got an interesting topic for us. This one I just came off the top of my mind since we're talking about drift cars. If you could have any drift car and build it the way you want, what car would it be? What engine would you have in it, etc., and why?
I really want to do a JayZ Swap, okay, in a 3rd-gen Camaro and piss off the entire world.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Because people mistake my Supra for a Firebird. So I want to get like a Camaro or a Firebird and put a JayZ in it and just piss everyone off. And it'd be the same thing. They're practically the same car, just one's Japanese and one's American. They're both heavy and ugly and square.
Heavy, ugly, and square. That's funny.
Okay, what about you, Sean? What would you do?
No idea. I'd probably be a muscle car, but I'm not really a drifter, so. I mean, I drift enough in my Nova and my TA, but that's nowhere near like what they do on a track.
Okay,
I think he's
so-
upset.
So I mean, I'm more of an autocross and drag strip kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I
enjoy watching it, but I have
to be
no
honest
interest in
with you.
doing it.
I mean, I'd like to do all three eventually, to be honest with you.
I'd probably do an RB Swap 300 just to make everybody mad, too. Because everybody hates when you take a 300ZX to a track, because they're
pigs.
Yeah.
What about a 300ZX but with an LS?
If you have like 20 grand laying around, then yeah.
Well, what if you did? I mean, I'm just saying. This is theoretical, right?
Theoretically, yeah. Then that's a good project.
That would be.
Okay,
That would
so we have
definitely piss off
two. We have
people.
two that are in the comments. Matt Rosenthal says RB26 Fox body.
He seems
And Linchester says 4AGE 20V blacktop AE86.
That's pretty similar to what we're building right now.
The Japanese anime. What the hell was that one called?
Initial D.
That had the the AE.
Yeah, it's
Initial
called
D.
Initial D. Gotta love that Eurobeat.
Oh yeah.
For me, I'd probably, I don't know, I'm kind of debating between, because obviously it'd be an American car. For you guys that do know me, you know I like American cars most, but I respect all. I'm debating between like either I'd probably, since we're talking about doing swaps, I'd probably go with a new Edge and put a Coyote in it.
There you go.
Maybe supercharge it and kick some ass with it.
You know what would be a cool car is either a Pontiac Solstice.
Oh no! I got a good one. This is gonna piss Martin off.
Oh God. Don't tell
Coyote
him.
in a put a
That's what I was
Coyote in a
just thinking.
GTO.
You jackass. That's exactly what I was thinking that you were about
I
to say.
can't even.
Oh man.
I'm
That
just
was
fucking
awesome.
around. I wouldn't do that, but
All right, delete, unsubscribe. I'm just
Or swap a
I wouldn't
Coyote into a
actually. I
Hellcat.
wouldn't actually do that, Martin. I'm
Ooh,
just fucking.
yeah, that would be
I know. But what I was thinking about is either a Pontiac Solstice with an LS2 or a Saturn Sky, which is the same car, obviously.
Yeah.
That would be a cool. I've seen them
That
before.
might
They
not
have
be
kids.
bad.
Yeah, it'd
Or
be
like
pretty wicked.
Or even like what the Hoobie did with his Porsche 911 with an LS.
Or
That
yeah, or
thing's
just
pretty
take
cool.
some tiny car that's real light and just put a big V8 in it, like one
Well, it's
that
like
originally came with like a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder.
Like that Miata that you showed, the red one. And your
All right, there you go.
in
How about a
last
Chevette?
video.
The Miata I showed was an orange one and it had an LS3 in it.
Right.
In my
that
last
thing was,
video.
That's crazy.
It sounded awesome.
I'm sure it's fast as hell,
It's
too.
yellow or orange. It's an orangish yellow, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I actually...
I wouldn't even do. I would do an
seen-
LT. What are they dropping in the Corvettes now? What is it, an LT4?
Yeah, LT4.
Yeah.
And then LT1. The LT4 is the one for the Z06, and the LT1 is for the Stingray.
Even though there's not really that much difference between an LT1 and an LT4, so...
That's what we figured out the other day, right?
Yeah, because I got a 2018 Corvette brochure from Rick Conti, and literally it compares the two engines, and there's only like a couple things that are different between the two engines. Like
I would
obviously
say,
the supercharger
what,
makes a big difference on the LT4.
Not even that. I think it's I forget what the hell it was, but
I'll get it out. Hold your tits.
You're gonna get it out? Please don't.
How about that? Does this work?
This asshole.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
I'm not talking about. Oh,
Hey, you never
Jesus
know.
fucking Christ.
Gotta ask, right?
Somebody start talking about something until I find the page.
Well, here's
So we're not boring our audience.
the engine. Well, here's
What about a hard body?
What is the worst car that you've ever been in?
Chevy Spark.
A Ford Focus.
2017 Buick.
I'll be honest, Chevy Spark because it was slower than Moses, and you have to put your foot to the fucking floor to go anywhere.
My friend had
I've been in some pretty crappy cars, but they weren't necessarily crappy cars themselves. Just that particular car was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend had a 72 Ford Maverick, and no matter how slow you took any corner in that thing, the tires were just screaming, and the brakes hardly worked, and it was like you were riding in the world's slowest, scariest roller coaster in the world every time you got in it. It was just terrifying.
Like, would fuck you up?
Oh, yeah. Like, he had to pump the brakes like 8 times for anything to happen, and you could do
like
this with the steering wheel, and like nothing would happen.
Those are the best cars.
All right,
It's
you
like
guys
nothing's
want to know the
connected.
difference between the LT1 and the LT4 on the new Corvettes? Okay, so under fuel it says premium recommended, but on the LT4 you have to have premium. That's one thing. Another thing is the intake valves on the LT1 are hollow, and the one on the LT4 supercharged are titanium.
Didn't we find out that they're sodium filled for the LT1? Like the Z06 from the...
If you mean the exhaust
7 liter?
valves, they are both hollow sodium filled.
Right.
They both are, both engines. And then the intake manifold on the LT1 is composite, and then on the LT4 it's cast aluminum supercharger. And then the exhaust manifold on the LT1 is the cast nodular iron, and then the LT4 is cast stainless steel. And then...
So it's supposed to withstand a lot more The LT4, I'm pretty sure, is probably at a higher compression ratio than the LT1.
Yeah, I don't think it gives the compression ratios in the book, but
Well, I mean, you take the supercharger off the LT4. I'm sure it's probably an LT4. I'm sure it's a lot lower compression as far as the engine itself, but with the supercharger, it brings the compression way up.
yeah.
So, I mean, and that would be the reason for the steel block and the obviously the aluminum intake. The composite intake is probably the same intake they were running on the the same style intake they were running on the Corvette, 5-6 years ago.
I wonder if it says here on the sticker. Excuse me.
You're not going to have any of that on the sticker. You're going to have ground weight and all that stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the 2014 Stingray here.
Now, is that the same body style as the one they're running now?
Yeah, it's the same one. This is a 14. This is basically the Z06 would have the wider body, basically has the wider fenders in the back, and of course this has.
It doesn't have the front splitter and the rear wing, right?
No, but actually this has the rear wing too. But I upgraded the front grille to the Z06. Man, I got a lot of mosquitoes running around right now.
You're gonna get laid out.
It's like shit. And of course, I got the Z51 wing.
Even though it's not a Z51.
No, it's not a Z51. But she looks good. The combo that it has.
I wouldn't be complaining about that car. That car's sweet.
No, I've actually been in a C7. It was a 2016 though, not a 14. But it was it wasn't a Z51, but it had the 3LT package. It had the spiced red interior. It was nice, and it was the 8-speed auto. It was actually really good. Like
closest I've been to one of those cars right now was I helped push Mike's car up back out of the drag strip when he broke it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mike, his new Corvette is a 1LZ, I believe.
No, his new one's exactly the same thing as his other one, except for it's an automatic, and it has upgraded a lot more of the upgraded options on it.
They're identical. That's what I'm saying. It's the 1LZ is a package. It's kind of like this Corvette. It's right here. It's a 2LT. Basically,
Martin's just a little sore because Mike advertised in his video that it was a 2LT, and Martin did his research, and it's a 1LT.
No, 1LZ.
Or 1LZ?
Yeah,
My bad.
It's not a
My bad, whatever.
It's not a 2LZ. Yeah.
Yeah, so Martin's a little pissed at Street Speed for false advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so what's the
Basically, he has a base model Z06 with upgraded brakes, which was $7,000. The upgraded wheels, the carbon flash mirrors, which is another upgrade, and a few others. It's like about $13,000 in options. What raised the price to his car? I mean, not that I can.
Yeah, but what would the other one come with that his doesn't have that would make it not be that?
First of all, it would have the navigation. It would have the cool and heated seats. It would have the memory seats. It would have just a whole host of different items, that are,
How do you know the car that he has right now doesn't have those?
Because I saw the video and I looked at the inside of the interior when he showed the automatic transmission. It's missing the cooling seats. As a matter of fact, I can actually show you in this car, because this is a 2LT. Obviously, this is not a Z06, but I'm going to turn the camera around. So anytime you see a 1LT or a 2LT, these buttons right here tells you that this is a 2LT. That shows you the heated and cooled seats. And of course, the passenger side, heated and cool with the dual zone climate control.
So basically, it just doesn't have the sticker saying what the buttons are on the 1LT, right?
Yeah, there's nothing. Those are blank.
Well, could you get one without having that in it anyway? Like, isn't that an option to not have it?
Well, that's basically a 1LZ is basically that has none of that stuff, but of course a Z06 comes standard with the heads-up display no matter what.
Okay.
And for
I don't
instance,
think I've
if you
ever
get
been in a Corvette, so I couldn't tell you.
if you get like let's say a 1LT Corvette, like in a regular Stingray, you won't have a heads-up display, right? Like this one does, or like these buttons that are right here for the memory seats. Oh, the other thing that you won't have is the lumbar support. It's just they're really convenience features. They're really stupid. They're really dumb. Oh, and of course the upgraded Bose system.
300 came
Now,
with
could
the
they have changed that in
system
2017 or 18?
No, we looked it up in Jonathan's brochure, and
Okay.
I actually looked it up. I actually looked it up on the website too. On top of that, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, he's the one that can afford to buy the car. I mean, I just didn't like that he wasn't honest.
Maybe he didn't know.
You know? Oh no, he knows. We had this discussion a long time ago when he first bought his first Corvette, the automatic.
Yeah, believe it or
He had
not, Martin used to have a conversation on Instagram with Mike before he quit ignoring him. Before he started ignoring him, but let's go to a different topic instead of roasting Mike.
Yes. Let's move on.
Let's just not start shit and go to another topic, please.
Yeah, there's no other shit.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this, Mike, you know I have nothing but mad respect for you because, well, just in case, but you know I have mad respect for what he's done.
All right. Okay. So, in everybody's opinions, what makes a good daily driver?
Reliability.
Automatic.
I would say gas efficient.
One thing I'd say is reliability for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen the car that I've been puttering around in, but you know, for a daily driver, it ain't that bad. I mean, it's a 2012 Kia Soul, but it's the Kia Soul Plus, so it has some get up and go. It's got the bigger motor in it. Not that they have very big motors in them to begin with, but I have no complaints with that car after driving it for the last like 2-3 months. A lot better than most of the other cars that I've been in recently.
I think I had one of those as a rental once.
I drive 114 miles a day for work, and I can definitely say the most. Number 2 is fuel efficiency, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I drive a shit ton.
I think I'm jealous of my my coworker's car for that one. She has one of the MLKs, I think it is, by Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
That car is sweet looking, and she drives that thing almost as far as I do every day, and it gets like 50 miles to the gallon.
God damn.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds kind of like...
The thing looks like it should be eating like 12 miles to the gallon, and the thing just sips gas.
Doesn't that have a V6 turbo?
No, it's a hybrid.
Oh, it's a hybrid. That explains it.
Yeah,
that's what I like about you know my girl's her Stingray, because of the fuel cutoff that it has. It turns into 4-cylinder mode, and that thing on the highway can get up to. I mean, we've driven it all the way to Texas a few times, by a few dozen times anyway, and we've gotten up to 30 miles to the gallon in that thing.
Nice.
That's what the Kia gets. The Kia gets like 27 to 30 miles to the gallon. And
I'm talking about that, you know, if there's traffic in front of me, I could just drop it into the sport mode, the track, because it's got the little rotating knob right there. It, heightens everything and makes everything better, and step on that sucker, and then all of a sudden you got that, 455 horsepower. It rocks. And the minute you pass everybody, you put it back in cruise control. You're just chilling. It's cruising at 6th gear. It's automatic, and it's given, it starts immediately 25, 28, 30 miles.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't the 2014. It has a 6-speed automatic, correct?
Right. Yeah, the 6-speed automatic, exactly.
Yeah, because the newer ones have the 8-speed.
Right.
Are you eating ice?
Yeah, I am. It's hot out here, man.
Well, you're the one that chose to sit in the car.
Well, I can't be in the house because otherwise they start bitching that I'm too loud.
Wow. I don't know what I do with my water. I had water sitting here.
And I'm not
Thought I
going to turn
did.
on the car because I don't want to wake up the neighbors. They'll start bitching.
Sounds
Ah,
like my
screw it.
neighbor.
Do it
You just got a
anyway.
bunch of freaking bitchy people. This is why I live out in the middle of the country. Nobody bitches.
Right.
Yeah.
If my TA was running right now, I could fire it up, and I think maybe my landlord would bitch, but nobody else would be able to hear it, and it's not quiet.
Right. Do you have like open headers
Can you?
or no mufflers?
It's a Pontiac 400 with Ram Air 3 cam in it, and yeah, it's running open headers, and it's got full headers on it, not the stock manifolds.
Yeah, that's.
That
I'm
thing
sure it's
that thing
loud.
lopes. That thing lopes like Mike's car does in when he first fires it up.
Right.
Can you shoot
Yeah,
guns
so
where you
anyway.
live?
You know what's funny? Mike literally just posted on Instagram as soon as you said his name.
Yeah. No shit. Look.
That's funny.
I have no idea. I can't. My phone is being used. Oh, that car is fucking sick.
It is. It's
That
a
color is
Stingray.
just amazing.
Yeah, the wrap. And then apparently he
Oh
donated
yeah,
the
the
rims.
blue one.
Yeah, I know. I heard.
Yeah, that's a
Now,
good-looking
somebody
car.
else was asking something when I accidentally interrupted them. Who was that was asking something?
I think I asked if. Sorry, I forget his name. Whoever lives out in the country, I asked if you
Sean.
can. Sean, I asked if you can shoot guns where you live.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My
Right on.
my girlfriend's got a 30-06 and a what is it? A 20 gauge shotgun sitting less than 2 feet from our bed.
Nice. There you go.
They're both bolt
So-
action. So
So if anybody wants to go rob from him, be aware you're gonna get your head blown off.
you ain't
They're
getting
not
near
gonna-
those cars.
Yeah, you're gonna be
Between-
unrecognizable.
Now my landlord also lives on the property. I actually live in the middle of his property. It's a big horse farm. My landlord has several automatics along with rifles and shotguns. So yeah, you're not getting very far. And he protects this place like it's like it's his home, but it is.
Well, yeah. What part of the country you live in?
Like I said, you know where the Cabelas is in Pennsylvania?
No, I've never been there.
It is
That
the
kinda
biggest Cabelas in the United States.
Oh wow. That kind of
Martin's
reminds me
from New
of.
Mexico. That's why
Yeah.
he doesn't know. So
Yeah, I'm way over here in the west side.
It's
On the west
basically
coast.
south central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's about an hour
Central, I'd call it
from.
Central.
It's about an hour from Harrisburg, Allentown, and Philly.
Oh, that explains why you were there at the call out.
It only took me about an hour and 10 minutes to get down to the call out.
And then you said in that
oh wow,
fucking
it would have took me
45
3
minute long.
hours to get there, and I'm in Maryland.
Yeah.
I also was driving Mexico speed.
Yeah, double digits,
Well, that
huh?
explains everything.
That Kia can get up and go when it wants to.
Yeah.
Mike just
Oh,
left.
well, we lost the one guy.
Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we lost Mike.
I used to be a Kirby salesman, selling
David,
vacuums,
is he
and I
going to
went to
come
go
back,
sell
or
them,
did he just get bored or something?
and I went to
I'm not
Texas.
I
I
didn't hear any of
know
that.
he said he couldn't stay too long, but he said he'd come and join us for a little bit. So
Okay.
Anyway, like I was saying, I used to be a Kirby salesman, and I used to sell them out over there in Texas. And let's just say I didn't like selling Kirbys there in Texas because people would show up to their door with their guns or rifles or shotguns and pointing them at your face.
I used to just show up to my door with a freaking 200-pound Rottweiler. That was enough.
my boss would knock on their door because he'd be in suit and tie and stuff, and he's like, "I'm not a Mormon, I promise. I'm here to clean your carpet."
we have the not the what the hell are they Jehovah Witnesses up here.
Yeah, there you go.
he said his internet.
They don't like big Rottweilers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he going to come back when his internet comes back on, or is he just going to stay off for the night?
He's gonna try.
All right. Okay. Let's go to another topic, shall we?
Yes.
All right. So what is, in everybody's opinions, are cheap engines to build?
Well, that's easy. Go GM. Most availability of parts, which means the parts are cheap enough.
But which GM engine? Because the LS
Depends on
cheap.
what you.
LS
Honestly, an old school small block Chevy.
Yeah, there you go. Stuff like that. But if you're gonna be building a newer LS, like last time, Trevor was like falling off his seat when he saw the bills of all the stuff that I purchased for my LS.
Yeah, that was
He's
true.
like, he said, maybe I shouldn't
Unfortunately, I
build
don't
an
have
LS.
any experience in that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have no experience in that area because I haven't built any of the newer ones.
Yeah, parts are. I mean, they're readily available. Of course, they're everywhere. You can get whatever, but they're damn expensive. I mean, yeah, they're expensive.
I mean, now granted, this isn't a new motor. I had a Caddy motor, a 500 cubic inch motor. I could get 1,000 horsepower, 800 horsepower, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque running naturally aspirated out of that for about $3,000.
Yeah, that barely got me
About $3,000
started
in parts.
on the GTO, man. And that's what I put in the transmission. I went to what is it called? The gearbox, the transmission kit, which was it was cryogenically treated to upgrade all the gears and a couple other stuff was just about 1,000 and another 1,500 on labor, and then upgraded clutch was another. I think I spent.
You just spent like my whole fucking year's salary right there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I spent so much; it was just ridiculous, man. Even the exhaust that I got from Cooks was beyond expensive, man, because it's all stainless steel.
That's what's in the TA.
Yeah, it's just like I got screamer mufflers with the high flow cats, X pipe, and long tube headers.
The exhaust system in the TA is made by Pipes, which is actually right out in Hatfield, Pennsylvania. I looked it up. It was almost $1,000 exhaust system, and it came with the car.
Yeah, that was
wow.
That's barely enough for the headers, man, for my GTO.
I don't even know what header. Well, the headers that are on my car came with it when I went down to Tennessee. I picked up the motor down in Tennessee. I got the headers with the motor, so I have no idea what headers are on it.
Right. I mean, you can always get cheaper headers for a GTO or a Camaro and stuff like that, but
you have
so
the
what
new
all
school GTO.
specific engines would you say are cheap to build, though?
I'd say a
Like
5.0
any specific
Mustang
one?
engine.
A what?
Like a 5.0 Mustang. Like, think of all the stuff you can get for those for, like, I wouldn't say dirt cheap, but I mean, you can get a good
reasonable
800 horsepower of a 5.0 Mustang for not too much money.
Yeah.
You're talking about.
So are you
like,
talking about the
ones,
old
right?
5.0 or the new 5.0?
Yeah, like the old 5.0, like Fox body style.
Well,
Okay.
as I said, it's the same thing as like the GM, like the old school GM small box.
Right. Like the old like LT4s and LT1s from the old Camaros.
I deal mainly with the two-piece rear main seal blocks, but I haven't really messed with any of the one-piece seals or the newer stuff. Mainly because none of my cars take any of that unless I were to drop something newer in it.
Right.
So.
Is your car
which one?
Carbureted?
Which one?
Because you said you have a Nova, right?
I have 277 Novas. That's a 350 with 305 heads. Basically, stock bottom end 350 with the flat top pistons, and then the heads are off of a 305 with the big intake valve, the 202 intake valve.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's carbureted. It's got a 650 Edelbrock on it.
Those are cool cars. My dad has one, and he's actually trying to get rid of it.
It's running 11-to-1 compression right now with basically stock internals.
Right. Yeah, but my dad's car is I think it's got a 427 in it.
That's big block.
Big block Chevy.
Now here's something. Did you know that Chevy's the only one that has true big and small blocks?
No, I didn't know that.
Ford doesn't, Pontiac doesn't, the Mopars don't. They're all normally either the same block or with different deck heights, but they're normally the block is the same dimensions.
No kidding.
Chevy actually has an actual much larger block for the small block and the big blocks.
Right. And you're talking about the older
the older engines.
Pontiacs.
Yeah, I have
Right.
no idea about the newer ones.
Right. Yeah, because the newer ones, they're basically all the same, really, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, they
for
are.
instance, the engine that's in my car came in the 2005 Corvette. And then, of course, in 2007, I believe. Actually, I'm sorry. In 2008, it changed to the LS3 in the Corvette.
Well, the difference between the 1, 2, 3, all the way up to what is an LS7 they have now.
Yes.
The main difference is just bore stroke and power ratings.
Right.
Other than that, they're basically all the same core.
Right.
You know, they're bored and stroked to different lengths, but the core itself is basically all the same.
Right.
I do know that much. But
Right.
it's it's not like it was back in the day where, like I said, where you had anywhere from a 289 all the way up to a 400 would have been the Pontiac small block. I mean, not the Pontiac small, the Chevy small block. And then you had there was one smaller than 400, but basically from 400 up to the 472 were the big blocks for Chevy. Pontiacs, everything from the 301 all the way up to the 455 was all the 301 all the way up to the 455 was all the same block.
Yeah.
And same with Cadillacs from the 425 all the way up to the 500. They were all the same block. So
apparently somebody disliked the podcast. I just looked it up. Like,
that
what the hell?
surprise me. Remember that one podcast Aaron said we had like 20-some people in there, and he was like, we only have like 7 likes? And then literally people started disliking it. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I'm like, Aaron, you had to open your big fucking mouth.
I don't know, but
if I'm looking at my phone the whole time, it's because I'm trying to find this, because I got an email from like Motor Authority and stuff about like different stuff going on in the car world. And
did you guys see the new Trailhawk that just came out?
Why don't we ask people in the comments what they want us to talk about?
Well, I do have one topic I really want to bring up, though. So, in this email from Motor Authority, there's this article that says, say goodbye to flat tires thanks to a self-healing rubber from Harvard. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know about those, but have you seen the, what is it, those, the airless, the tubeless tires? Those, they have them on the trucks and stuff. They almost look like a honeycomb.
Oh, the run flats.
Oh, yeah.
No, they're not. They're not run flats because they never have air in them.
Huh.
Oh,
shit. They're just they almost look like cardboard, like a cross section of cardboard.
You know.
Oh, they're planning on doing that for like the military trucks and things.
Yeah, and the industrial trucks, like the big dump trucks and stuff like that, because they never have to have air in them.
I remember Michelin was developing something like that for Mercedes many years ago. Do you guys remember that? It had this core that was on the inside that went all the way around the rim, and that was your run flat versus having a stiff wall like the Corvette that's behind me. The edge has a stiff wall, and for instance, I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's either Goodyear or Bridgestone that has I think it's either polyurethane with carbon fiber in the edge of the wall,
so it can literally run on the
right.
sidewall.
So in case it gets that punctured. In fact, they've been doing these promotional ads where they drill out like a half-inch hole or an inch hole in the tire, and they drive the vehicles. Have you seen those commercials?
Well, I don't have cable, so that's kind of wild.
Well,
the only
have
ads
internet,
I see is YouTube ads. So.
Well, you have internet, right? So just, I'm gonna have to send you links, man.
Yes, you will.
Yes, I will.
I might have to have you send me more freaking podcast topic ideas because I'm running low on those.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Yeah, shut up. But another funny, Sean.
I'm basically watching the chat, not necessarily the actual feed.
Yeah, like I was watching the chat also, so that's why like it says I think we might be the only 2 people that are actually watching. But obviously, Yeah, but here's another thing though: is more people I think watch it when we're not live anyway. So
Yeah.
here's
I don't
another
see any
thing
new
that
comments.
another thing is apparently the Chevy Blazer is making a return. What do you guys think about that?
That'd be cool.
Depends on what it looks like. I haven't seen it
Yeah, it
yet.
depends on what they do to it and what it looks like.
Because
Which
I think the
generation?
Ford Bronco that they came
Okay.
out with
Be
is
like-
just
Is it
horrendous.
going to be super crazy, like the Ford Bronco concept, where nobody that ever could buy a Chevy Blazer is going to be able to afford it, or is it going to be like like one of those cheap, like an S10, where everybody can actually buy one?
Yeah. Like if they since Chevy's bringing that back, what do you guys think they should do to the new Blazer? Like, what would you guys
Not make
think
it
would
look
be?
like the S10 Blazer.
They weren't. That wasn't a bad car. I made it like almost across Pennsylvania before I blew
Well,
one up.
I'm not saying that they're not a bad car. I just don't like the way they look. I like the K5s.
Hey, I used to have a '98 Chevy S10.
You take the 6-cylinder out of it, slap the 302 in it, and you have a good day.
Yeah, well, I had the 4-liter, or what was it? Not
Yeah.
4-liter. I'm sorry.
The
The
4-cylinder.
4-cylinder. Yeah, it was a good little truck. I mean, it was a 5-speed, so it was better than having an automatic, of course.
They make good.
Well, yeah,
trucks.
because older cars, the automatics are shit. So,
Yeah, they're crap.
Hey,
That's
now
why-
but nowadays it's like the opposite. Like,
you're stopping on my territory there.
Automatics.
No, the old automatics.
Well, they're slush
What?
boxes.
I have two TH3.
It's like you grab a
350s in
cup,
both my
you put a
cars.
slush in there, a slushy, right? And you slush it around. That's the automatic transmission from the mid '90s to '80s. That's what it was
Oh,
like.
I'm before
Oh,
that.
I can relate to that one. I went through like 4 transmissions in my 3000 before I got rid of it. Like I rebuilt it, I drove it 2 blocks, and the transmission burnt back out.
I guess your
Yeah, they're-
slushy got too warm.
Yeah, slush got too warm.
I don't know. My Nova's got a street strip TH350 in it, and the TA's got it's got a street strip valve body in it, but the clutch packs are still stock.
I don't know. I try to stay away from automatics. Every time I buy one, I break it.
You want to add another
I
Nova to
just
your
wanted those new
collection?
transmissions out of those new Camaros.
Hey, Sean, I think Martin was asking you something.
I said, you want to add another
What?
Nova to your collection?
I don't have enough room for the ones I have. I have right now. There are 2 Novas, a TA, a Ram 1500, and 2 Kias in the driveway.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, well, plus you have a decently sized driveway there, don't you?
I could probably fit 4 more cars, but I guarantee you my landlord would really start bitching.
Yeah.
But you live out in the middle of
Probably.
nowhere. What the hell?
Yeah, but it's all gravel. It sucks.
Ah.
Okay, here's another topic for us. If you could only go to one type of track for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Drift track.
Circuit for me, because you can do anything there.
I would say just a big circuit with an infield, because you can do drag strip, you can do circuit, you can do open, the open oval. I mean, that's the most
you can
multi-purpose
even do
track.
like autocross there too if you set the cones up.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want in a big oval track with an infield.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's not like. Is it like multi-use like scenario, or is it you can only do one type of racing for the rest?
Well, I'll be honest. The question was kind of more focused.
What are they going to
only
do? Shoot you if you do something else?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the way the format of the question.
It's like
Okay,
the
let me
Nazi, you know?
rephrase. Let me rephrase it. Okay, if you ended up being stuck somewhere and you could only have one track, but you have to do what they say on the track. Like, if it's a circuit track, that means you're doing track, not drag racing, or drag strip, or drifting, or autocross. Take your pick.
I'm doing drifting, but that's kind of self-explanatory.
I would say a circuit track, not like an oval circuit, but like a road course.
Yeah, road course type circuit.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I'd probably
Like
say
Woolen.
road course as well, because you get the turns out of it, and then you also get straightaway.
Yeah, the high speed.
Yeah. You
Something
also
like
get the high speed
Road
straightaway, and
America.
you also get the. Yeah.
You get that on a drift track too, just more uncontrolled.
Well, you can drift on a circuit track.
Yeah. That's right. Haven't
We
you
got
ever
them
seen
freaking
Top
idiots
Gear?
on Forza that seem to like to do that while we're racing.
You seen like at Pocono, like that's like 100, like I think it's the back course. That's like a 100-mile-an-hour course.
Yeah, I actually remember
kinda
getting
curious.
footage off of my friend's GoPro. He has a 2000 turbo Honda Civic, and I don't know what track in Pennsylvania he was at, because I know he lives in PA, but I don't know what track it was.
Probably
But I
Carlisle.
accidentally put footage from another track that he was at on my computer, other than just the autocross that we were at, by accident. Because I was trying to rush to get all the footage onto my computer before I had to give him the SD card back. And literally, I was just watching the footage just for the hell of it because I was bored. I wanted to see what would happen. And literally, there was this one spot where I thought it was a Mustang that went off track and went into the dirt, but it was actually I think it was a BMW.
So it missed the crowd?
Yeah, it just went off into the dirt, and I'm like, well, I could probably make a video out of this somehow, but I probably won't. I got enough videos right now for an army, so. I mean, I got enough videos to probably last me another month or two if I didn't film anything else. Even though tomorrow I'm filming a big car show that's supposed to be like almost 3 miles long, so.
And you're gonna be sore, buddy.
Yep, my legs are probably gonna be jello by the time I'm done. So I don't think who all didn't go
To what?
on the topic. Mike, I don't think you did.
Yeah, I don't
You've
know.
been
I guess
Mr.
it would.
Mute over here.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Well, not really. I don't know. More like a road course, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another question. If you
I got
could
a
track
question.
any car, what is it?
Oh, are we changing subjects or not?
Yeah, I was going to, but do you have something that you want?
Yeah, I got a question.
Wow.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
not sure, dude. If any of you guys play any racing games, what's your guys' favorite racing game or style of racing game?
Forza, probably.
Well, I used to play video games a lot, like before I did YouTube. That's literally
YouTube
all
kind
I
of puts a
fucking
hamper on
did.
it, doesn't it?
Huh?
YouTube kind of puts a hamper on that when you spend more time editing than you do playing.
Well, I'm not really into doing gaming that much, unless like I do it on my phone or whatever, but that's about it. But like, I know when I had my PS4, I either did racing stuff on Grand Theft Auto 5, even though I didn't do it very often because people would cheat and piss me off. Because they cheat and fucking try wrecking me. I thought it was funny. This one guy came beside me and he went like this, and I just slammed on the brakes and he went off the fucking track. I was like, bye, bitch.
No, Grand Theft Auto, that's what you're
Continue
supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to play fair in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. And then I think another racing game I had was The Crew.
That was
actually a pretty good game.
I enjoyed it for like a little bit. I had like a PlayStation for like 3 weeks, but then.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be like a hardcore
Adult
gamer.
life
That's all I
gaming.
did all day, all night. That's all I fucking did. I wish I never would have, but like I had so many cars on that game, you could tell I'd played it for a while.
I remember.
I used to play Gran Turismo. Old school.
Damn it! I was just about to say that Gran Turismo 2.
I
Yeah,
was kind of mad.
I started with Gran Turismo 1, the original.
Gran Turismo.
I liked Gran Turismo all the way up until I think it was the 5th one.
I only
No,
ever
I
played the 6th one because that's what I had on my PS3.
Oh, that was horrible.
I stopped at number 3 because by then I was not into video games anymore. I actually had a real car.
Well, I have real cars too, but I can't drive them like I can on in the game.
That's
And when you buy a
Sure.
brand new game for Gran Turismo and it looks like you're playing on a PS2.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I was like I said, I was a fan of Gran Turismo all the way up until like Gran Turismo 4, and then the 5th and 6th ones just suck.
I know I played Forza once. I forget which one it was because I was at my friend's house because he has a 360, and I forget. Like I didn't really get to do much on the game other than I just kind of confiscated his Cobra R and drove it around a lot. I think that was like that car, and then the C6 ZR1 was the only ones that he really let me touch and change. I would have drove his Camaro, but he kind of had it this purplish paint color, and I'm like, I'm not driving a purplish paint car. Forget it. I don't care if it's in a game or not.
It's a damn game. Who gives a hell? Who fucking cares?
I have all the Forzas. I have all the Forzas up to the newest one that isn't out yet. And yeah, that's kind of my thing. If I can't race my car, if I can't drive, obviously I can't drive my cars like I would in the game because I don't
want to go to jail.
I sometimes have Mexico, but most of the time the Popo like to sit where I want to play. So
how about let's play a game? Who's been arrested? Speeding.
I came real close with that one. I got pulled over at 155 and a 55. So.
Oh shit!
Damn.
What car did you do that in?
3000 GT VR4.
Let me guess, you did get arrested, didn't you?
No, because I was underage.
Oh.
Damn, you're lucky.
Lucky fucking bastard.
I think my biggest one was this was back. No, I didn't have my license very long, but I passed a cop doing 110, and he got me for going 77 because I just downshifted instead of brake. And
funny.
The sad thing is, it was in a Ford Escort.
Oh my god.
At least mine wasn't something cool.
You guys are gonna laugh because the first time I ever got arrested was in my 2003 Chrysler PT Cruiser. The cop said, and I quote, "You are running away from me." I'm like, bullshit. Like, this thing can't even hit 100 miles an hour unless I'm going downhill with the wind pushing me.
Hey, Martin, you remember that story you told me where you were in the PT Cruiser and you went past this cop and you pulled over and you were going so fast and he passed you? Tell that story, please.
Okay, so I live in Albuquerque, right? And my parents moved to, it's called Las Lunas, right? And it's down south. And there is this like rural road where it's a 2-lane highway. It's sort of like a highway, but it's not. It's more of a county road. And so I'm hauling ass in this PT Cruiser, right? I'm just going as fast as I can possibly go. I'm going like 95, 98. I'm clipping 100, once in a while when the air hits me correctly, I'm topping out this little car and I'm hauling ass. And my radar detector goes off. And by the time I noticed, all I did is slam on the brakes. I saw him light me up. He's facing the opposite direction, so he's facing towards the opposite direction as I'm going down south. He's facing north. So immediately, I just pulled over and just caused a huge cloud of dust and dirt because I pulled over on the side and just stopped, put on my flashers, and as the cop didn't even see me stop apparently because he turns around, has the lights on. Hauls off, he's just hauling ass and doesn't even pull up behind me. Like, he just didn't even see me. I guess he thought I was broken down or maybe I was just waiting for something, but he must have thought that it was a Mustang or a Camaro or something else. He's like, oh my God, he's really far. But he just hauled ass passing me, like never pulled over behind me. And I was just like looking at him and as he's, lighting up the way. And I'm just like, awesome. He didn't pull me over. Because I knew I was going to go to jail right there and then. Because, that zone is, what is it, like 55, 60? And I was going clearly 25, 30 miles over the speed limit. But it was just one of those things that it was unexpected.
Yeah. You remember that one story you told me where, I think, wasn't it the first time you got pulled in your GTO where you said, oh, the Corvette engine or whatever?
Yeah, so basically the car was brand spanking new. This is back in 2007. I had already put about 1,500 miles on my car. I still had my permit that's in the back window, and had it for just over a month or so. And that's how much I had been driving it that I put 1,500 miles right away. And so I'm hauling ass on the freeway. I'm passing what they call the Big I. It's where all the overpasses are at here in Albuquerque. And I saw this Impala that's to my right-hand side, and I'm driving all the way to the left, and I'm hauling ass at about 145 miles an hour, right? And I keep going, and I keep going. I hit 160 miles an hour, and then I see the lights, and about 4 miles down the road, that's where my exit was. It was called Gibson. And I slow down, I take this curve, and it's this curve that curves around, and it swings you back to the east, right? And so he gets behind me, finally, he reaches me, and the guy's like, you know, I was going over 130 miles an hour, and I couldn't even catch up with you. You know, you kept putting distance between us. You know, what were you doing? I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going that fast, is what I told him. And he says, I see that it's, you know, you just bought the car, you know, and he just tells me, what the hell is this car? You know, what? Like, it's a GTO. I'm like, a GTO? You know, like, you mean like the ones from the old deal? Just, like, yeah, it's like the old ones, but it's the new one. He's like, well, what the hell's in it that you went so fast? Because I wasn't even able to scan your speed, but I know you were going past 130 because you kept making space. And so he had me pop open the engine and the whole 9 yards, and he finally just let me go. And he's like, just be safe and, you know, don't wreck your car. It's really nice, basically. You know? It was just, it was one of those experiences where, you know, here I am. I'm only 24 years old at the time, and I'm just thinking to myself, fuck, I'm going to go to jail. You know? It's like, this is not – so the times that I should have been getting in trouble and going to jail, I don't go to jail. But the times that I shouldn't be going to jail for going, like, you know, 10, 15 miles over the speed limit, that's the times that I go to jail, which is ridiculous. You know?
We don't go to jail for those pullovers. Not unless you do something to really piss the cop off.
Yeah, like one day, you know, I was driving on Paracel del Norte, which is a huge highway, and I saw the cop, and I was like, you know what? I'm already going $140. I'm not going to stop. I just kept going. I just completely blew his doors off. He turned on his lights. I passed him so fast that I probably put 2-3 miles between us within seconds. You know, he just turned off his lights. He didn't even bother chasing me. He didn't even bother. I saw the green light. There was nobody coming. I turned in to the left and just kept going. Completely around the entire city to go home. I was so pumped with adrenaline that I couldn't sleep that entire evening. It was just,
yeah.
But I don't do that shit no more. I can't risk it. Hell no. I've had my car forever. I only have 38,000 miles on the odometer, and it's paid for. You know, it's been paid for the past like 8 years or so. It's pretty modified to the point where I want it. I don't want anything more. It's already perfect. If somebody beats me, congratulations. You spent more money than I did. You know, that's the way I look at it.
That's kind of the thing most people don't want to see on YouTube is somebody that already has their car the way they want it. They're going to be like, oh, what's your next modification going to be? Or when are you doing the next mod? And they'll keep bitching at you till you get force-fed to do it.
Well, that's what the Firebird is for.
Paying for it.
The formula.
Yeah, but that's not yours.
To make money. No, but it's okay. If I'm starting to make money off YouTube, right, like Street Speed, hell yeah, I'll go get a Corvette. I'll modify the shit out of that bitch until it pays itself off.
What Corvette? C7?
Yeah, why not? Hell, I'll buy my girlfriend a new Corvette, and we'll start modifying the one she has now, the 14. It's already out of warranty. Fuck it, right? The warranty just ended. And I didn't start modifying the GTO until after the warranty ended.
Do you feature your GTO on your YouTube channel?
I do. I have one video of an exhaust note that I did a couple months, or actually a year ago, a channel, and I finally started filming because I've been doing everything with my phone. But now that my girlfriend was so kind, she got me a GoPro for my birthday. So now I'm gonna start to really ramp it up and start making some stuff. As a matter of fact, the Infinity dealership here in Albuquerque wants me to start making videos for them, and I'm going to start featuring their stuff. So it'll be kind of like a Doug DeMiro type style YouTube channel with, a little bit of muscle and, imports and domestics. Hence import domestic, because I have an import that came from Australia, but it has a domestic powertrain.
All right.
Kind of makes sense.
And then eventually, hopefully, I have some buddies that work at Dodge. I know the owners, and hopefully they might be able to hook me up with some cars. I mean, they used to when I had no YouTube channel, but now they have an incentive, right?
True.
So
Okay, so on to the next topic. Thoughts on Mazda patenting an engine with 2 turbochargers and an electric supercharger?
it's not going to
What
work.
do you guys think about that? Not going to work?
No, Mighty Mods, Mighty Car Mods already proved that electric supercharger don't work.
A centrifugal supercharger doesn't work?
No, electric.
Oh.
Like
He
like
said
the
electric.
kind you can buy off eBay, like the kind that has like a little fan that goes into the intake. Like yeah, no,
Yeah, those
those don't
crap.
work. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you're talking about like almost like you do with a water pump, like a water pump on like a 50 or like a 302.
All right,
You hook
everybody
like
check
something
the
like
link
that
I'm
up
going to send in
to it.
the Hangout.
Say what?
I just sent a link in the Hangout.
Well, how am I supposed to get that?
Can't you multitask on your phone?
Hold on, Sean, get on your computer and I'll send it to you on Messenger.
Well, no, I can get on Hangouts on my thingy, but it's
On your
annoying.
thingy?
Yeah, my laptop.
Sounds serious. Your thingy, huh? Is it solar powered?
My
or-
laptop's sitting right here.
Okay, that's your thingy. Okay, got you.
He just doesn't use that.
All right, did everybody get the link and then are looking at it?
I'm looking for it
Hold
here.
on, hold on.
I didn't get it.
I saw
All right,
something
hold
coming
on,
up.
Justin, I'll
I didn't even know you were allowed
send it to
to
you.
patent an engine.
Here's the other.
Yeah, sorry. When I meant
Okay.
about superchargers, I'm talking about electric. Of course, superchargers work.
I mean, if you hook up a good
come on.
enough like motor
I'm actually
to it,
going to bring
sure
up
it's
the.
gonna work.
I mean, I guess they could start, try to develop something that might work. Some sort of supercharger that's electric, but that's going to cost a lot.
I mean, they do it with the
But why
electric
go to
water
an
pump already.
electric supercharger instead of a centrifugal one or
Well,
a spool type? I mean, not a spool type, but
A pro charger?
yeah.
the same reason you do like an electric water pump, so you have less draw on the engine.
Yeah, but that's the water pump is going to be completely different versus trying to, create
Yeah,
the
water pump,
the compressed air.
but also a water pump is a
Okay,
non-power.
for everybody
adding,
watching right now, this is the article that I was referring to. I'm going to present here so everybody can actually see it. Engine with 2 turbos and an electrical supercharger.
I don't know if that's going to work,
I'll
to be
just-
honest. I mean, I would like for them to prove me wrong, but I don't know if it'll work.
At that point, isn't it just redundant? Where you got the supercharger and the turbochargers?
Well, I mean, it's pro charge. People do that all the time. Or not
Because
wind
see,
charge.
an electric supercharger or turbo, right, is not going to be able to produce, the force induction that a naturally, that an actual turbo or force induction supercharger is going to be able to have the capabilities of doing.
They said the same thing
Depends.
about hybrid technology too.
Depending on the size of the electric motor, they can produce a hell of a lot of torque and a lot of speed. Probably more speed than the engine's going to run.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
and you got to think about it. You can spin an electric. You can expend an electric fan without the engine even running.
yeah.
So
true.
you have that power right off of the right off of idle.
Yeah.
You have forced induction at idle where you don't have that with a turbocharger or a centrifugal supercharger or a procharger.
Yeah.
All of those use engine speed to produce that forced induction.
Send me the link on Messenger because I'm not logged in on my other device and I don't want to have to go through all
I
that.
sent you it on Messenger, Martin.
Oh, did you? Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
looking here. Okay.
I mean, the electric supercharger, if it works, you have a supercharged charge of air at all times because it's not based off of engine speed at that point.
Right. Yeah, because it needs a constant load.
So I mean, even when you're only running 800 RPMs, you can have the same amount of forced induction as you would at 3,000 or 4,000 RPMs, because like I said, the electric motor is not based off of how fast the engine is running.
I mean, this
Whereas
is the reason.
a turbo, you need the exhaust gases from the engine running, which means the faster you're running the engine, the faster the exhaust gases, the faster the turbo can go.
Right. The more the
supercharger, it's based off of the belt
driven. Yeah.
Yeah, it's belt driven.
Whoa! Hold up. Did everybody just see the notification from Street Speed about his video? Returning my new Zeo 6 to the dealership after 9 days. Oh boy.
I'm sure it's probably just getting like an oil change or something stupid.
Yeah, it's probably just
it's more clickbait. That's another thing that I get.
Well, I mean, that's not actually technically clickbait. It's just creative freaking titling. Because I do it in some of my videos. If he as long as he drives the car back down to the dealership, the title is actually honest.
True, very true.
He didn't say he was returning the car, giving up the car. He just said he was returning to the to the dealership.
It says returning my new Zeo 6 to the dealership.
Yeah, so he could be taking his car back down there
for service.
Yeah, but
it could be for service. It could be to install something that was that he wants installed on it. It could be all kinds of things.
And you never know. Maybe it's to get the 2LT package that he said. Sorry, I had to say it.
2LZ. 2L. Anytime it's Zeo 6,
whatever.
It's 2LZ.
LT, LZ, what the fuck ever.
There's too many fucking numbers and everything anymore.
I know.
It just used to be called the Sport package or the or the Trans Am package.
Or like with the Mustang, the Performance pack.
Exactly. Now there's all these freaking letters and numbers. It gets confusing.
Yeah, and like another thing that we brought up in another podcast is why did Chevy go back to the LT motors instead of like making another thing?
I just saw
how they went from LT to LS and then now they're back to LT again. Why LT of all names?
Right, they should have. Right, that's what we're saying. They should have remained it something else. I see what he's talking about. The braking period is done.
Oh.
So he's gonna have that first oil change for the braking period.
I'll have to watch this video later.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, technically, he did return it to the dealer, but he returned it for service.
Yeah.
If you watch any of his videos, that you should be normal to that anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be honest.
You can almost figure it out anymore what he's actually talking about.
Like, I'll be honest. Like the way I watch videos is, I usually watch them on the Apple TV. So I just see who uploaded, and then I just click on it. I don't even really half the time look at what the fuck they're called. Unlike most people.
Is that what you
click
do
on
my
it
video?
and then get into it.
Or don't you watch my videos?
Yeah, I watch your videos.
You know how long it takes me to sit there and think of a freaking title that sounds somewhat interesting instead of blog number whatever.
I just fucking click on it. It says, "Oh, Novataz uploaded." Okay, click.
I mean, it normally takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to do a thumbnail. And it depends on how much writer's block I got to come up with a decent freaking title that's catchy.
I mean, the title that I came up with on my...
Why do you think about like today's upload, which was like about the autocross, instead of naming it "The Summer Sizzler Autocross," I decided to say "My First Autocross / Will I Fit in a Miata."
I would have just left it. Will I fit in a Miata?
Yeah, you probably should have just.
I literally would have just left it. Does my fat ass fit in a Miata?
That's what I was thinking about doing, but I didn't. I was thinking, YouTube. Will
And that was not to be. That was not to be offensive to you. That's just clickbaiting title.
I know.
Like
my last video was called "I Just Can't Stop." I think that's what I called it. Is that what I called it? I just can't stop, or something like that. I just can't stop myself. That's what it says.
That could mean a lot.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, the new video.
Well, that was the point. You got to watch the video to find out exactly why the title is what it is. It makes you want to watch the video.
Yeah, true. I'll be honest. I don't think I'm not really that great at coming up with video titles.
You just think about something. If you want them to get to a certain part in the video, number one, when you go to go make a video, and I've just completely noped the freaking chat. I have no idea what I'm talking about in there anymore. But and when you want to make a video, you want to get them to get through the whole video because anymore because of the way YouTube changed their algorithm. You need to get minutes watched. So it doesn't. They don't care about how many views you get. They don't care about how many subscribers you have. They want to care about how long somebody is sitting there watching your video. So you need a video that's around 10 minutes long, and they need to watch a good bit of it. So you want them to get about 2/3 of the way through the video before they nope the video, or till you get to the part to where you're going to explain your cliffhanger.
Yeah, because I think the part about the Miata thing was like, I think 7 minutes into it.
Yeah. So if you would have said, would my fat ass fit in a Miata, they would have been watching the video for a while till you got to the Miata.
Well, that's the thing. At the beginning, I put like a little kind of teaser at the beginning before the intro. And then right before I was about to sit in it, I cut it off and went to the intro and then continued the video. As basically kind of proof
But
it is in there, it's not clickbait.
Well, that's the point. But mine, I kind of just go straight into it as far as normally it's my drive home from work, and then I get into it because I only have from like 4:30 until it gets dark to be able to film.
Yeah.
So,
okay, Mr.
except for when I was in here filming inside with the transmission for the Dodge.
Yeah.
Which, yes, that title and video was definitely clickbait. The one where it says my girlfriend's going to kill me or something like that.
Well,
whose videos were we talking about for that one?
Huh?
Whose videos were we talking about for that one?
Novataz.
Girlfriend killing someone? Oh,
Novataz.
like I said, I don't read titles half the time.
But it was the thumbnail was literally just like a ghosted image of like an angry wife staring over at a husband that was kind of like had his hands in his face, and there was a picture of the kitchen with a transmission torn apart in the kitchen.
Oh shit! Well, I'm surprised you're still alive.
Well, the thing is I was working on that transmission outside. And every time I went to go get home, it was raining like every fucking day. So that transmission literally sat underneath of a tarp for like 2 weeks because I couldn't touch it. She goes, she's the one that suggested, why aren't you just doing it in the kitchen?
Don't you have a garage?
No.
Oh shit.
I have a little like 5x5 shed. But it is packed completely from floor to ceiling with Nova and Trans Am parts.
Yeah.
At least you got a place to stick parts.
Well, the thing is both the Novas are completely gutted. There's nothing but the shells there. The one Nova still has the engine and transmission and drivetrain in it, which is my old Nova. But the new one is literally just a shell.
Yeah.
Because that's the one that's going to be going back together because it's got a solid body.
Yeah.
But like I said, all of the interior parts for both the cars are in the storage unit, and half the interior of the PA is in the storage unit. And I have an extra interior for it.
Well,
so
are they any of them? So none of them are race cars?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
Okay, now the Nova that my dad has is like literally a drag race car with the battery cut off in the back.
I like driving my cars, so mine will probably be street. Like the Nova will probably be a street strip drag car. It'll basically be a street car that I just take it to the track and beat the snot out of it.
You know what I just thought about, Jonathan? My dad's Nova is like Spaghetti's Corvette. It shouldn't be street legal, but technically it is.
Yeah, I want mine to be more like Nick's, where not the 13, but more of the 2017 that he has, where you can take it to the drag strip, but it's got a full interior still in it.
Right. The idea with my GTO, it's quite fast. It's it's fast enough. It's got about a tad over 500 horsepower to the wheels or so. You know, it's daily. You know, I can daily it without killing myself.
Well,
It's
until I lost
comfortable. It has,
until I lost the 500 cubic inch caddy motor, that was going to go in the Nova.
yeah.
But I had recently lost that because I lost the storage unit that it was in.
Yeah. But I mean, watch. I'll show you what this damn Nova looks like. I have pictures on my Instagram somewhere.
Well, yeah, mine is sitting back here. It's this one.
That's nice, man.
Yeah, it's Swiss cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well,
The gray one that is the gray one that is sitting where this TA is now in this picture. The gray Nova that I have sitting there now is like I said, is its new body. So all of the parts that I had on the black one will be going on the gray one. I just got to fix a few rust spots on it first. But that's the last on the list. The TA needs to get done first, and the truck needs to get done before the TA. So.
Okay, well, let's move to another topic real quick while Martin looks for those pictures or whatever. So what is the best car event you guys have went to this year?
Say that again.
No contest. I would have to say the Cecil County
What?
drag event. Hey, you got to talk because I can't see the picture.
Oh,
I'll
there
just
it
click
is.
on it so I can. So it'll.
Oh, that's
There we
a fourth gen. That's definitely a fourth gen.
It's a nice Nova.
Do you know what year it is?
Let's see. It's a 79.
Oh, so it's got the square headlights in the front.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
Yeah.
And literally, it's just the nose. I don't like the nose.
Yeah. I mean, you can change it. But...
You gotta change the whole front end though.
Yeah.
But the hood's different. The headlights are
say,
different.
Hey, Mike, you're looking a little bored over there.
Here's a
What?
sort of what the inside looks like.
Yeah, it looks like mine.
Yeah. It's got racing seats in it. 5.5 or 5-point harness. It has a fuel cell in the back.
There you go. They make great drag cars.
Yeah, this thing is pretty insane.
The sad thing is they're selling that car pretty short because it's got the front suspension out of a Trans Am and a Camaro. So it's basically built to be able to corner, unlike the older ones.
All right, well, I would say we're going to end the podcast for tonight. If you guys still want to talk a little bit more after, we can stay in the hangout if you guys want to.
Yeah.
But before we go, I also want to say one more thing. If you guys, wrong page. This podcast is sponsored by Eyes Up Auto Art. If you would like your vehicle painted on canvas, he has pretty decent prices. And there's some examples of work that he has done. Definitely go check him out on Instagram and Facebook. Actually, I can probably look up his Facebook. Because I never showed an example of the Facebook page. But yeah, it's basically Eyes Up Auto Art like it would be on Instagram. Definitely check it out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. And see you guys next video.